Hey, what's going on everyone? So in this video we're going to go back to the start of the DCEU and take a look at Man of Steel, the film that kind of launched everything, this whole universe that Warner Brothers was developing, and an interesting piece that has actually come up in a recent interview on Vulture.com with both the DC heads Geoff Johns and Diane Nelson. So new details have surfaced regarding Man of Steel and kind of the production process and a little bit of the behind the scenes and some of the skepticism that Geoff Johns actually did have towards the project. So as you guys are familiar, Geoff Johns is now kind of the big wig at DC. He's in charge of the DC Films division now with John Berg, and they have a pretty big say now in what goes on in all of the DCEU movies, including the hiring of Joss Whedon to actually help out finish Justice League. But back then, Geoff Johns actually didn't have all that much pull because he was just simply the chief creative officer at DC Entertainment, so he could sort of act as a consultant or tell people how things should be done, but at the end of the day, he wasn't really the deciding voice like he is now. So according to Vulture in their new interview, Geoff Johns was marginalized creatively when Man of Steel was shooting, and before its 2013 release. According to them, Geoff Johns and Diane Nelson were reading scripts, and Geoff, to his credit, was concerned there was not enough lightness or humor given who the character is. This is in regards to Man of Steel. Geoff Johns definitely raised that point, but that current administration didn't care that much about what Geoff Johns thought. So a very interesting turn of events, and kind of just goes to show how much creative power Geoff now has in the DC Films universe, because back then they just kind of were like, you know, he's a comics guy, what does he know, we're making our movie and that's that. But I wonder how different things would have been if they would have listened to him, and if he actually did have the creative pull that he does now. What if Man of Steel did have that kind of lighter tone and a bit more humor to the character? As Geoff points out, that is one of the core points to Superman. He's a lighter character, he doesn't take himself too seriously, you know, so it's interesting to see what that Man of Steel film could have been if they had taken his advice on certain aspects of it. I still look back at Man of Steel actually and think it's one of the better DCEU movies, up there, you know, in terms of the best stuff. It's a very solid story. I think just with a few changes here or there, it could have definitely been a great film. But leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you guys agree with Geoff Johns' verdict on the film? Should it have had more lightness to it, a bit more levity, or do you think it was fine as it was? Be sure to drop all your thoughts down in the comments below, and for more updates on the DCEU, be sure to subscribe to Hybrid Network. Thanks again guys for watching this video, and if you want to get even more updates, follow us on our social media platforms, and if you want to help us make better content for you guys, consider donating to our Patreon. All the links will be provided down in the description box.